tied at 5. Caris LeVert once again starting at point guard, getting this invaluable experience in the bubble and here in the playoffs. LeVert off the dribble drive, the fade, that is.
And on the dive, Anunoby met up there by Jared Allen. That's defending the rim.
Yeah, and that's what Jared Allen does. He is a terrific rim protector, but he's also got the versatility.
For Brooklyn, they were wired in game 1, so this is really encouraging. There's Jared Allen on the finger roll, slip
Pick and roll against LeVert.
Van Fleet coming up short. Now, the downhill guard, Caris LeVert, and a big guard at that. On the Euro, and going to the line, looking for the three-point play. Took too long to get it to Marcus Gasol. Turnover gives it back to Brooklyn. The surprising Nets up by a dozen as they are 8 of 11 for the field, 4 of 5 for beyond the arc overall. The lock, Jared Allen on the hammer.
Straight line drive it really well, and most guys instinctively overreact in terms of overhelping him. That's Siakam lethal at the rim.
They got the switch. LeVert will take the shot instead of going inside. Or Allen had Anunoby on his back. So that breaks a string of 3 straight turnovers. At least they got a shot at that time. And now Serge Ibaka into the game. Career year for him offensively. And coming out, he's still out there. And it's going to be the 3-point attempt for Caris LeVert out of the break.
And you can see already a change in strategy, right? They're switching that pick and roll now because they've got a much more mobile lineup than the Raptors. And they play greater defense in terms of defensive efficiency in the league. They create a lot of problems for you. They can force you to play in the half court.
Tyler Johnson tried to stay in front of Kyle Lowry. Norman Powell spends his game to 3-point effort. And an efficient one at that. Is it thrown away? It is by Jared Allen. It's another turnover in a 4-point game. It was just 12. And the run continues. It's now
almost an arrogance of belief in how they play the game. You got to credit this group. They are the defending champs.
LeVert trying to lose a really good defender in Siakam. Corner 3. They needed it. Garrett Temple.
For Temple.
Ibaka 2 of 4 in his triples in the opener of the series. Coming up well short there. LeVert on the run before they can set defensively. Got what he wanted.
Yeah, and that's an example.
About 5 seconds. Separation, shot clock, and game clock. Brooklyn now shooting at 50% to 42%. What about that take? He'll get it now. Will it stay? Joe Harris will take it away. So Chioza in there, along with Kuz. Jared Allen's been out there for most of the game. Good drive and kick. Tyler Johnson, he got the triple. After the offer sheet that was matched by Miami. And then he was waived by Phoenix. Picked up, as you said, they needed warm bodies. Tyler Johnson on the run. And the former Fresno State Bulldog puts it in.
Example of athleticism because he hung in the air forever to get to the left side and get that finish with the left hand.
He's a different player the last couple of years as opposed to his first 2 years. Mid-range game.
And they needed that basket there.
So Chris Chioza out of Florida where he played 4 years of college ball. Now the mismatch. Billy Powell again, all the way to the cup.
And so you've been played a sink and fill, and then it creates those driving angles or 3-point opportunities on the kick out.
And Norman Powell now 11 points off the bench for an entry. Kuz and Chioza.
The turnover really was not his fault. It was just a breakdown on the offensive execution.
That's out of a timeout. Jared Allen, perfect entry.
Even for Jared Allen, he cuts harder with LeVert on the floor because he's expecting to get that pass, and that's just an ability that LeVert has that really nobody else on this current roster possesses.
So a couple of free throws, we're all even at 45.
But if you're the Nets, you still feel pretty good about where you are. You've done a much better job defensively than you did in game 1, and offensively, put yourself in a much better situation in terms of having a chance to win this game.
43 makes yesterday, moving the ball that quickly.
You know, some teams have great players that can create offense. Others really got to rely on their system to create offense, and that's what you see.
Back to his OKC days. Joe Harris can't finish. Wow. Boy, the work rate was great for Brooklyn.
What a sequence, man. You got to feel for the Nets to work that hard and get that many opportunities.
Clock. 3-second difference. Shot clock, game clock. As Karis LeVert will direct the offense, sending Temple over to the sideline.
And I'll tell you what, they've made the adjustment having Raptors on LeVert. 3 of 13 in this game thus far, even though he's done a good job with his facility.
Contract to Kwame Brown.
Yeah, how weird was that, right? You get traded for your brother. But he ends up making, you know, Memphis is his home.
Right.
His kids there, the whole nine.
Kyle Lowry used for Fred VanVleet.
And that was an example. I mean, you're just not going to get a better look than Toronto's offense created on that possession.
And Joe Harris get going because he had a inbounds and a great look at the corner. I think they caught the Raptors by surprise. Now Karis LeVert. Another wide open three. Garrett Temple gets it this time. It's an 8-0 run for the Nets as Joe Harris will bring it in. So can they stay in the neighborhood? Into the fourth quarter is going to be the key. And the confidence will grow. Tough shot. Falling down with 1 assist. After coming off a career best 15 in the last game. And the game before that, he had 13 in the seeding games. VanVleet again gets to the cup. Inside of 7 left in an entertaining third. And it's slowed down like playoff basketball, hasn't it?
Yeah, intensity and physicality picking up.
VanVleet warning.
Both with high basketball IQs, both play a lot bigger than their size. And then they can also do it all in terms of playmaking, shooting.
Norman Powell up to 12 points. Far away. A little bit strong by Karis LeVert, but still, he got what he wanted. Good look. Now Lowry trying to get past Joe Harris, and he will. Carolina's.
He is the hardest working player I have ever been around.
Jerry Temple's got it. Siakam. Jared Allen changed that shot. Altered it completely. And that's a long player, Siakam. So now 18 for Garrett Temple. 12 here in the fourth. Inside out. Hot hand. Garrett Temple. That continues. He's up. Screen and roll. Tyler Johnson spaces. Can't buy it on a good look in the corner. That's Siakam. Thomas first look works. So 2017, a big guard at 6'5", 190 makes it a 3-point game. Joe's on the probe. They share the basketball. Tyler Johnson's teardrop works. Shooting only 38.5%. The mid-range game flat for Tyler Johnson. 5 fouls for Luau Cabarrone. It's going to be interesting because he is an offensive source coming on 26 for Brooklyn. When they decide to bring him back in, loose stuff. It almost got away. Norman Powell with VanVleet. And a gamble out front, sets it up. It'll be an easy one for Ibaka. You said from the bench. He charges. Kurucs is out there. Also a member of the bench. They're not that deep as we can get into all the players they're missing, like Kyrie Irving. Mid-range game of Norman Powell. Former
is going against as good a defense as you're going to find in the NBA. And so it's just he's not getting enough possessions where he can just kind of exhale. He needs to give him a boost here off the bench.
So Norman Powell with the make. Is up to 16 points on 7 of 13. Got great position on that inbounds. They let it come in towards the rim. Tyler Johnson fills 83-80 Brooklyn.
They just, every time it looks like Toronto's there, they find a way. And that was just because there's similar kinds of players. And for him, it's inspirational to see a guy that looks like he's doing what he's done. And you say to yourself, I can do that. You know, and it helps your development.
Raptors look for their first lead of the second half. And they got it. The guy that took to their first lead, and it didn't last long, 48-47, and only lasted 33 seconds in the first half.
Thus far, every time Toronto has made that push. The Nets have been able to answer. Let's see if that can continue.
Karis LeVert took his time and could capitalize once again. They're already up plus 15 in points off mistakes. And that has kept them around. Van Vliet on the close by LeVert, who I've got a feeling is going over to the sideline on the next whistle. On the switch, Ibaka, and the biggest hit three late last night. All three were better than 30 feet. Van Vliet, a little bit strong, but things are breaking now for Toronto, aren't they?
Well, they're small and they're spread out defensively. And also, I think there's some fatigue in this, and Lowry is presently constructed. I would be surprised to see Dion Waiters get an opportunity to provide an offensive spark for the team searching right now.
They got a setup man coming back. Joe Harris required.
Huge, too. Anything they can do positively with LeVert on the bench. Now, can they get some stops consistently?
Kyle Lowry was coming off picks. Norman Powell got when he got away with one, didn't he? Used the off arm a little bit. Good move. He got away with it.
You got to do a better job defensively of not allowing him to catch it that close to the basket.
Norman Powell with 18, 19 for Lowry, 24 for Van Vliet. The guys you would expect the backcourt. Johnson on the floater. But 43% for Toronto, and that's their best so far. They have picked it up in the fourth. Gary Temple on the flyby. And leaving it off. High percentage, Jared Allen.
Next rebound of the game.
Good take. No touch. And after Allen went after him, Powell's got it. Norman Powell, one-man wrecking crew, gets to the cup again. And three ball, Gary Temple. Boy, that would have been interesting. It's tapped away. Van Vliet. Because Joe Harris had it coming down.
He did. Van Vliet with the tip, and then Lowry there to clean it up. That was a huge possession for both teams, really. Now this could be huge if the Raptors are able to score.
Van Vliet on the switch. Deep into the clock, Powell. And I guess that's high percentage.
No, he didn't. And I tell you what, I got to give Jared Allen a lot of credit. He is just working his tail off. Just didn't have enough to get there.
Joe Harris gets the triple in the corner to keep it to the NBA. 106 a game. Loose stuff picked up by Harris. Now LeVert. Luau Cabarro gets the triple. 3 points. Kyle Lowry all over him. Now Temple can't save it. Turnover costs him. Norman Powell, and that should do it.
And see that to
6.
And that was Kyle Lowry right in the middle of it again.